Wow, John, you were freaking amazing in this movie.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'll take that review any day. Freaking
there you go.
Amazing.
Sphere, that's what I'm going to say in my, my tagline. But, I want to ask you right off the bat, how important was it for you to sit down with Jack and get his perspective, his stories for your amazing performance?
It's the most important part of the process for me because, listen, this is a highly politicized issue. It's a very intense story, so there's no other choice but to get it straight from the source if you can, and I was very lucky that he was willing to sit down with me. He was so unbelievably generous. Within 5 minutes of getting to know him, he said, please ask me any question. Don't worry about the emotion level or what you might say, because it's most important that the story is told, but told right. Yeah. And so for me, that was huge. And in doing so, not only did I learn all the details of that night and the specifics to help me maneuver through all the physical stuff, but what I also learned was as impressive as he is as a military man, he's even more impressive as a regular person, and he's a wonderful father, he's an unbelievable husband. And so it really gave me a whole new emotional perspective on what he leaves behind when he goes and does stuff like this. And I think it gave me, I'm from a huge military family, and I thought I knew what I was saying when I said I support the troops. And when you get to talk to these guys and learn who their kids are, why they got into the military to begin with, things like that, it really brings this human level where you realize they're not superheroes, which is the most extraordinary part about them. They're regular people who have chosen, trained, and decided to do this. And
it has to be a little bit more heightened emotionally for you too, because you're a dad. Mm-hmm. So that's got to be real stuff coming out of you, I would think.
100%. You're absolutely right when you say that. When I met Jack too, one of his kids is very similar to Hazel's age, and so my daughter she was about 1 when we went to start shooting. And so these ideas of having fear of losing your life and leaving your family behind are obviously very real and something I can connect to. And so those scenes were as important, if not more important for me than anything else, because I wanted to show the human side of who these guys are, not just that they're unbelievably physically and military trained, but also that they're real guys who have something that they lay on the line, real things that they're laying on the line, like family.
Yeah, and you get on the set, and it is intense stuff. It's not like your usual movie or sitting in the office, talking to those guys, pulling pranks on Rainn Wilson. Not happening here.
Exactly.
But Michael Bay did such a phenomenal job on this movie. People are going to be really surprised at how phenomenal he did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Why do you think he was the right guy to shoot this picture?
Well, I mean, Michael's a singular director. What he does is different than what everybody else does, and he knows that. And I think that confidence level is actually really helpful for an actor, especially doing something this intense. You want someone who's in the driver's seat, who knows what he wants, knows how to get it. I mean, a couple days before we went shooting, he said, I've shot the movie in my head already. I know what it looks like. And I thought he was kidding, so I said, how is it? And he said, it's really good, and it's really emotional. And he didn't even have a smile on his face, and I realized this is the movie he had in his head the whole time. And that level of talent is so awe-inspiring to me that you're able to, like you said, on a very chaotic set, not only make sense of it all, but have it in your head of where it's all going.
Yeah, and the bond with you guys, it had to have been very special.
It was really special, and it was also intermixed with the real guys. So the real guys were on set helping us out. We also had Navy SEALs on set as consultants, and I think the bond between all of us, we really got to understand. Obviously, we know that we, as actors, were only pretending, but even in pretending and getting to know the information, you do understand why these guys bond. And when you're put in a situation, yes, it was just a movie, but it was an intense movie. So that sort of level of intensity actually got us, these actors, to bond very quickly and very strongly. I think these are some of the closest friends I'll have going forward from any movie set I've been on.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now, your wife, Emily Blunt, got very buff and in shape for Sicario. And then there's you, who, my goodness. I mean, seriously, so were you guys having, buff-offs at home?
We weren't having buff-offs. She wins every time because she did it first, and she's done it several times before me. But to be honest, I think that was really inspiring to me because I saw what it really took and how hard she worked to get there. And so when I came to do it, I didn't mess around. It wasn't like it took me 3 weeks to understand how hard this was going to be. I knew how hard it was going to be right from the beginning. And she works really hard at everything she does, and so I had to do the same.
Yeah, and so no diva-ness on this set. I heard that you were really concerned about the beard. And
I was?
Yeah, they were calling you Sweetbeard?
Oh, they called me Sweetbeard. Yeah, that was a nickname they came up with one day, which was really sweet. Not because I paid so much attention to the beard, but because they said that I was being very sweet one night. I don't know what that means. But no divas on set. And what's funny about that is movies like this, if you do have someone who's you know, has a little diva behavior, it can really ruin the entire movie. And so we all knew what we were getting into, and we knew we had a responsibility to acknowledge these guys and what these 6 guys went through, and how courageous they were.
Well, I can't thank you enough for telling the story. It's
Thank
just
you very much.
spectacular, and you know, just keep up the great work.
Thank you very
Always
much.
lovely to talk to you. Thank you, John.
Appreciate it.